Leo Bennett, what the hell are you doing over there? He hissed, loud enough for half the room to hear. Get up here and help your team. I stood there, calm as still water, watching Silas's face turn from confusion to rage. His voice had cut through the conference room like a rusty saw, drawing every eye in the place. Leo, did you hear me? Get over here. Luke was pale as a sheet, his earlier arrogance nowhere to be found. The CEO of our former company, Old Man Harrison, a silver-haired fox who rarely showed his face, sat rigid in his chair, his gaze flicking between Silas and me with growing suspicion. I didn't move. Silas, I said, my voice carrying easily across the room, I think there's been a misunderstanding. I don't work for you anymore. The silence that followed was absolute. You could have heard a pin drop on the thick carpet. Silas's mouth opened and closed like a dying fish. He looked at Harrison, then at Luke, then back at me. What? That's nonsense. You're right here. You showed up with the team. You're obviously still. My contract expired at midnight on Friday. I interrupted, pulling a folded document from my jacket pocket. I have the signed termination notice right here. Not a resignation. A natural expiration of a fixed-term employment agreement. I walked slowly toward the center of the room, my footsteps deliberate. I came today as a consultant for Zenith Solutions. I'm not here to help you. I'm here to compete against you. The blood drained from Silas's face. You can't do that, he sputtered. You have a non-compete, 5 years. You can't work for anyone in this industry in this city. I smiled. It wasn't a warm smile. Silas, when was the last time you actually read my contract? He blinked. What? The non-compete clause. It was for 5 years, yes. But it was tied to the employment term. When the contract expires naturally, the non-compete expires with it, unless the employer explicitly renews it in writing at least 30 days before the termination date. I pulled out another page. I checked. No one sent me a renewal notice. No one asked me to sign an extension. You were so busy trying to humiliate me with your bathroom fines that you forgot to do your paperwork. I turned to face Harrison, who had gone very still. Mr. Harrison, I have the utmost respect for what you've built, but your VP of Operations, Silas Miller, has been mismanaging this company for years. He drove away your best talent, took credit for my work, and just last week docked my pay by nearly $6,000 because I spent 40 minutes in the bathroom over the course of an entire month. I let that sink in. The bathroom, Mr. Harrison. A basic human need. He fined a senior employee for using the restroom. A low murmur rippled through the room. The representatives from the other bidding companies exchanged glances. Even the client, a sharp-eyed woman in a navy suit, raised an eyebrow. Harrison's face was like granite. Silas, is this true? It's a productivity measure. Silas stammered. We were losing man-hours. You were losing my hours. I cut in. Hours I spent closing deals, bringing in over $100 million in revenue, and doing the work of 3 people. And your thanks was a $1,200 paycheck and a threat to fire me if I complained. I walked back to the Zenith team, who were watching me with barely concealed glee. My new boss, a woman named Diana Reyes who had recruited me personally, gave me a small nod of approval. Mr. Harrison, Diana said, standing up.